future. Future is uncertain. What will happen next? So we all, as human, we do two things: live in the past and planning about future. So we forget to be in the present. As human, we forget to be in the present. So mindfulness is being in the present. So, but rarely do we rest in now, the only place we can truly live, love and change. Okay. Through mindfulness, we learn to see clearly what's happened inside and around us. Not with judgment, but with the gentle attention. This gentle awareness begins to heal us. So, today we are going to practice two methods. Two method means a mindfulness in breathing, that's one practice, and loving kindness meditation. In Pali we call mindfulness of breathing meditation we call Anapanasati. Ana means in breath. Ana means out breath. Sati means awareness. There are three words linked together. Ana, in breath, Ana, out breath, and Sati means mindfulness or awareness. So we try to learn and practice together awareness of our breath. In our breath used as a meditation object to be in the present. Okay. The other one we practice loving kindness meditation, or universal love we call boundless love. In Pali we call metta. Metta means loving kindness. So it's unconditional love. And we practice as a several stage. We begin with ourselves, and then dear person, and then to a neutral person, then for a difficult person. Then we share this loving kindness to all beings, seen and unseen, all beings. So that's what two meditation practice we're going to do. And I'm going to do X for 15 minutes, and then I give you time to ask questions or share anything if you have to share. So I let you have the opportunity for that. Before beginning, still you can ask any questions to clarify anything you want. If you have any doubt, anything, you're always welcome to ask questions. When I have a meditation session, I ask always bring your questions. So if you have any questions, always feel free to ask. Okay? Breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know I am breathing out. Mindfully breathe in and breathe out. Recognize the distractions. Distractions may be your thoughts, your emotion, or your feelings. It can be inside or outside. Recognize the distraction without judgment or expectation. Return to your breath. Smile and return to your breath. Recognize the distraction. Smile without worrying. Just return to your breath. In breath, out breath. Feel your breath flowing through your nostrils. Every breath comes and goes without holding, no any attachment, comes and goes. Reflect the impermanence, letting go, everything letting go. With your out breath, letting go of your worrying, stress, anxiety, and anger. Be in the present. Rejoice the blessed moment of your life.
Of fate. But we're talking about unconditional love, universal, boundless love, no conditions. I don't love you because you can do something that I want you to do. I don't love you because I hope that you'll behave the way I want you to behave. I love you without any condition, without any judgment, without any expectation. So that universal boundless love becomes our transport to oneness. And if we are able to actually
Aramaic, first to Greek, then from Greek to Latin, then from Latin to English. So you can imagine that it lost a little bit in those multiple translations, right? So I've thought that rather than to focus your attention on the English version of the Lord's Prayer, I'd share with you not only the Aramaic, but also the translation from Aramaic and what that actually looks like and sounds like. So we're going to pass these out so you can actually see it. And you can imagine that when Jesus first said to the people in the Holy Land that this is how you should pray, there were people who were hearing for the very first time the prayer that Jesus wanted them to say over and over again as a way of connecting with him and with his Father. Translation from Aramaic directly to English is different. It says, Father, Mother of the Cosmos, indicating a different concept of the Father as the Creator, the Father as Father, Mother of the Cosmos. Nethkadash Shmak. Focus your light within us and make it useful. The people of Jesus' time were people who basically lived off the land. They were farmers, they scratched out a living, and they had a different connection with the earth than we typically do in our modern culture here. Of course, farmers have more connection than most of us do, but those people understood the creative process in a different way than we think of it normally. Fruitfulness, growth, being abundant, and the notion of light was a very, very common thing both in the Aramaic, and successively in Hebrew. So you'll hear as we go through this lots of references to light. Tete Malkata. Create your reign of unity now. And as we go down and listen to these words, this is the thought.
Yoga here at the Serenity Central one day a week on Wednesdays before we do meditation on Wednesdays. So if you're ever in the neighborhood and want to come do some movement before meditation, we really, really encourage you to join us. Yoga, the term yoga actually means to join or union or to yoke. And basically what we're doing is we're joining in union of our mind, body, and spirit. So with the breath is the tool that we use. And I know Elizabeth had talked about coming into the Advent season, and Advent season can be very, very busy and very hectic. So coming back to the breath, whether it's through meditation like Bhante showed us, talk us through, or coming into gentle movement with the breath, kind of brings us back to finding, our center and our peace. So, this is something that you can do in the morning, like Bhante said, just taking 1 minute, or even 5 minutes sitting in a chair, especially if you've been sitting for a long time, just some gentle stretching and movement that we can do. So why don't we first just find a comfortable seat in your chair. And release as the breath moves out.
Why do we come to meditate? We all know we should. It's prayer and meditation. It's in the Bible, it's in all these theological works. I've never been able to meditate. I've been able to think about things. I've been able to sit in one place and think about this investments or things like that. It's not meditation because, as Bhante's saying, you have to clear all these distractions from your mind. So I said, well, when I heard about this, I decided to come, or maybe Liz mentioned it or something. Anyway, I heard it on the grapevine, and I ended up here. Been here about 4 things. And I would say what I really want to communicate to you today is that I think I had, through this meditation, a tremendous insight into the Lord's Prayer. And it's really serendipitous that Joe decided to talk about the Lord's Prayer today. So I just want to briefly talk about that. Now, when we do the loving kindness meditation, there's a section, we didn't do it today, or fully, because we had the Reader's Digest version, so it wouldn't go on for an hour. But Bhante usually says, think about yourself first, and ask for your own, maybe I'm not getting the words right, your own happiness, your health, your spiritual well-being for yourself, for success in all your attaining your goals. And then you think of a third person, maybe a neighbor or something, and you ask for that person. Then you think of somebody you really can't stand, someone who's like tried to kill you and undermine you, and who's always trying to denigrate you. And then you say to that person, you imagine them, and you say, I want you to be happy. And you picture them, I want you to be healthy. I was thinking of people too, you know. And I want you to achieve your spiritual goals and your well-being. And I found it really hard to do. And you know, in the Lord's Prayer, we're saying, forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. That's the same idea, but it's kind of impersonal. It's condescending. You're saying, I forgive you. You know, it's kind of noblesse oblige. But what the meditation is asking us to do is to hope for this person's well-being, for their happiness, that they achieve their goals, that they're successful. And that is going way beyond that.
That's hard to do.
Yes, it is hard to do, but I think, Helen, you're going to do it.
No. There are some people I will not do it for.
Well, I hope you reconsider. So I think what Jesus is telling us is we should love this person who's your enemy as a mother would love its child. I mean, to really love them and want their well-being, and perhaps they're bad, but you want everything to work out. There's a couple places many places in the Bible where Jesus said this. In Matthew 5:43-44, you've heard the law that you should love your neighbor and hate your enemies, but I say love your enemies. Pray for those that persecute you. And this is not just saying forgive them, it's praying for them, loving them. And then he goes on to say, well, what good is it if you just love your own child? Even sinners do that. You know, what is it if you repay people who you like and you expect something from them? You do them favors. There's nothing to that. But you should lend money to people you don't expect to give it back. And then at the end, he says in Matthew, be therefore perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect. And he's not saying that in a general sense. He's saying it specifically in his discussion of loving your neighbors, your enemies rather, because he knows that that's a goal that if you can achieve that, you'll achieve everything else. In Luke 6:27-28, and we've been reading this lately, and but I say to you who hear, love your enemies, do good for them. Okay, that's not just loving, that's going out and doing good for them. Who hate you, pray for those who curse you, pray for those who mistreat you. So this is really active loving. And remember the last words of Christ on the cross. What were the first? He said, forgive them, for they know not what they do. I mean, that's quite an example for us. So I think the basic point here is, and this is something I wouldn't have realized if I hadn't attended the meditation here, and Bhante hadn't made us picture those people that we don't like and really want them. This is exactly what Jesus was saying. And he wants us to be not just obedient, not just follow a set of rules. He wants us to be radically different from what we were and what people are around. And so, you know, the old version of the Book of Common Prayer said we do these things for it is right and meet so and are bound in duty. I always love that phrase, we are bound in duty to do these things. So, but it's not just our duty, because there's a payoff. And the payoff is that if you do this thing that Jesus said and Bhante said, that the Lord's Prayer said, it is an emotional release for you. And what we want to do is to get to a point where you know, we're Christians. We're supposed to give joy, right? But He's given us the way. So thank you for that, for the meditation and the ideas that came from it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To me today, in something that Bhante was explaining, he moved his hand in a way that became so clear to me what the opening of the lotus flower represents. And I want to thank everyone for being here and to kind of nudge the challenge to us all of taking our information, taking our relationships, and letting them unfold like a lotus flower. And one of the other ways we can do that is to quietly ask ourselves certain questions. I don't know how many of you practice journaling. I do. I find it incredibly peaceful and releasing. When in a quick discussion that Lincoln and I were having on planning this was one of the lessons that I learned from journaling was when I thought my daughter was going to die, I journaled intensely because it was a very troubling time, as you might imagine. And you know what I learned? I learned that if I look for the turtle, I'm just not going to say much more than that. If I look to the turtle, I will be safe. I will be safe if I look for the turtle and the turtle appears. The turtle always appeared. Always. So I just want to ask that I might go home today and say, how did the lotus flower unfold for me today? What's new information? What's surprising information? Did I hear something I want to know more about? Right? All of that really helps center us to get us ready to go on this journey that we're all on together. And I want to thank you all so much for coming and being here.
Of faith. But we're talking about unconditional love, universal, boundless love, no conditions. I don't love you because you can do something that I want you to do. I don't love you because I hope that you'll behave the way I want you to behave. I love you without any condition, without any judgment, without any expectation. So that universal boundless love becomes our transport to oneness. And if we are able to actually